Hi people, welcome back. Second episode. Let's just make a few statements about what this is about. Yeah. Okay. First of all, as far as I can understand, I'm pretty much physically altogether in the fifth dimension, and the way I work is verbally and through philosophy. Not much of a rhymer, as it were. Yeah, I dance pretty good, but all right. So, so that's it. And from then on, caga de borrego.
Lavadoras, estufas, refrigeradores, tambores de cama, hornos de microondas, muebles, tambores de cama, colchones viejos, licuadoras, estufas, todo el fierro viejo que ya no le sirve que le estoy probando que venimos comprando. Venimos comprando lavadoras, estufas, refrigeradores, tambores de cama, hornos de microondas, monitores, CPU, hornos de microondas, licuadoras, baterías de carro que no sirva, el colchón viejo que ya no le sirva, el colchón viejo que ya no le sirve que le estoy probando que venimos comprando. El colchón viejo que ya no le sirve que le estoy probando que venimos comprando. Venimos comprando carros viejos, baterías de carro que no sirva, hornos de microondas, muebles, tambores de cama.
Yeah, so everybody knew what that was about. Yeah. All right. Yeah, so that's what it is. I'm just gonna say I do actually have a university degree in editing, video editing, but I just don't feel like doing any. So, and I want to give it to you like as like no like uncut basically. So whenever I mention like internet links or whatever, I will post them in the description. So the link is there basically. I'm just going to start off by saying free energy is apparently a fact. So it's apparently there. Courtesy of the Cash Foundation at the moment. Hello, people. I appreciate what you're doing very much. And apparently they're selling a box which you can connect a device to, and it will run for quite a while with no electrical supply or no electrical grid supply, but it's its own power supply. As far as I know, this is all true. Okay, but I haven't actually tested it myself. Okay, I'm just cross-referencing sources on the internet. So, but the really nice part is that Mr. Kesh has gone to great personal risk, as far as I understand, to give out the details of how to make one yourself. So all this information is on the internet, and I'll just give the address to the Kesh Foundation in the description. So thank you very much. If you do go into this, remember, I'm just saying this is interesting. I haven't tried and tested it, yeah. But as far as I know, and from people's testimonies, it seems to be working. And if it's true, that's bullshit, man. That's bollocks. It's like too good. So that'll be my first link. I'll probably reiterate over the course of the various episodes. So let's just carry on. I can't. I don't know what the reason is. Maybe it's because I've only got 2 videos up so far. I can't set up YouTube for monetization at the moment, and hopefully I will be able to in the near future. Yeah, like I said, I'm unemployed, so if I make a bit of dosh on this, it's fine for me. If you find it interesting to spread and come back and watch it, basically, which is good enough for me. Yeah, I'm also hoping to get some sponsorships along the way. I'm trying to prove to everybody that I am a Jedi. So see how that goes, and see who's interested in sponsoring that. It's a good angle on that. So yeah, I might be talking about a sponsorship already with somebody. I'm just not going to say anything about that. It's got nothing to do with the video. Okay, so this is what it is. we were talking about McDonald's and PhDs and all that, and I have to say, as I said in the description of the last video, of course they don't ask for your PhD when you go to work at McDonald's, yes, but people with PhDs have ended up working at McDonald's in Greece, until they can get their spot in academia, as it were, and that's quite scary to think that one can go through, let's see, 12 years of school education, then 4 years of university, a year or two of a master's degree, and 4 years of a PhD. How much is that? 9 and 12 is about 21 years of education just to work at McDonald's, mate. Alright, like even one day. Okay. So yeah, I mean that was the situation in Greece because there's no industry, there's no heavy industry, so it's all tourism and education and philosophy, of course, is kind of there, or history, as it were, archaeology and all that is all over the place. But we don't produce cars or stuff like that, So yeah, but it's didn't dawn on anybody until the economic crisis hit, and we just realized we're just playing musical chairs here, mate, And I'd be surprised if any other country in the world is doing anything different. It's obvious, So it's funny when you have because Greeks are kind of most Greeks have experience from quite a few walks of life, yeah. And it is a very educated society in comparison to other societies, other countries worldwide. And yet there's no jobs, So your main thing is how to get a job, which is why I became an English teacher, so I can always get a job anywhere, which is fine by me. Yeah, so it's kind of, yeah. I'll just take it back and I'll talk about some, not energetic exactly, but spiritual stuff, and say that whatever I mention first, I'm bound to mention a whole lot of other different things afterwards, including shamanic treatments and ceremonies and Tai Chi and all that. So I can say that one day I was quite perturbed with what happened at work, and that's all I have to say. And I called my mother up, and I said, where's a quiet spot to kind of sit and reflect for a bit, And she said, well, you can go to this church in the north of Athens, so it's an Orthodox church, Christian Orthodox church, Personally, I was baptized Catholic, yes. I'm not necessarily practicing Catholic, yes. I'm not an practicing Orthodox believer in any way as well, but yeah, there's something about Orthodox churches which I think is very beautiful, with all the woodwork and the paintings and stuff. And of course, the same happens with all the artwork in any other type of church, whether it's Catholic or Hinduist or whatever. That's not the point. But Orthodox is a very special kind of brand of that. It's very soothing to the senses, very mystical. So yeah, so I went into the church and I got there. It was very quiet, and I kind of said hi to the priest, who's a friend of my mother's, and he said, stick around, we've got a mass. And I don't know, I sat in the back of the church. There was a few old ladies at the front, and I just sat there, and the mass started, and I'm just looking at the woodwork and looking at the pictures of the saints and stuff, no statues, I think, in an Orthodox church. I don't really know about this, not the person to ask about this. But as I was sitting, I kind of as a designer, I was a designer at the time, so really looking at the artwork, and suddenly, I start to calm down a bit, and I get this thing, I'm looking to my left, and it's kind of, I can feel somebody looking at me, and what it felt like was me from, say, 12 years before that moment saying, look, you've arrived, mate, that's your cycle done, and just leave your baggage, and you're here, man. So, and it overwhelmed me, I just started crying out of nowhere, Yeah, I do actually believe in God, and I do actually believe in Jesus, but I do actually believe in a whole lot of other things, so, and that's just my own brand of what I believe in. what gets me by many times, and what I feel happy for when I'm good and done. So yeah, middle frequencies are nice days. Yeah, middle frequencies, mate. So that's what it is. Yeah, I was like crying and crying and crying my heart out, man. And as I was crying, I kind of felt an inkling to go to the front of the church, and I don't know what they were doing, but I just want to be there, I'm not one for a mass. But yeah, I went, and the kind of kindly old ladies were welcoming me and say, come on, son. And I was crying, and everyone was, oh, he's found God. And it was very nice. And, yeah, it was nice, man. And I could hear this voice as I went to the front of the church. I could feel it ringing in my head, saying, "There's for everyone. There's enough for everyone, mate." Okay? I don't never take that lightly. And so that's what it is. And I went to the back and just carried on crying. I was emptying. And this is like Friday evening, so I kind of, after the mass, I picked up myself a bit and went to have a brief chat with the priest, who I have to say is like web designers. Priests are like web designers; they're not all the same. Yeah, that's all. And yeah, man, and he told me about. He said what you've been through is kind of like God's way of humbling people, and when it's real, and that was all. Um, and I went home, and it's like Friday evening. I'm thinking, well, I'll be kind of like alright in a few hours, and it's good that I can just rest the whole weekend and see what's going on with my life. But Monday morning, I'm still bawling, man. I just have to pick myself up to go to work, mate. So eventually I do, but that changed me forever, because what I was crying about all weekend is that I could see an image in my mind, where I thought I was telling me to kind of like leave my baggage. I see an image in my mind of a 3 meter tall figure with like flowing light and everything, and very kindly, amazing, powerful face. And as far as I could tell, it was a he, and he was holding a sword. So yeah, eventually I kind of think maybe it's Archangel Michael. It's quite strange, all this, of course, to me, because I've never had this sort of experience before. And yeah, and of course my mother, when I told her, was like quite, I don't know, unsettled, and she said, "Well, are you sure you saw an angel? Because it could be like a demon in disguise." Okay, for those of you laughing by now, yes, my mother used to be a communist. She was in the Communist Party of Greece until she had a few life experiences and became a lot more spiritual, and kind of like switched paths, I suppose, or found a different path for that phase of her life. I don't know. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, to whom this may concern, mate, we're not violent people, never have been. Um, you know, so that's what it is. What else? So yeah, it's kind of an awakening there, and after a few months, something else happened as well. Like, I'm not sure if it was before or after. My father came to Greece. He lives in Mexico still, and just around the corner from here, actually. And he came to Greece, and I saw something amazing which I'd never seen in my life. And that's my parents hugging. I hadn't seen it like, never, or had vague memories from before they split up when I was 4, basically. Yeah, and it had a very strong effect on me. It was kind of very rebirthing kind of sort of effect. And over the next couple of years, I actually managed to have my one family meal with my parents. My sister wasn't there. If we're talking about the family that was back then, because now it's a lot bigger, because my father remarried, my mother remarried, and that could never be a bad thing, because I have another little sister from that, so could never go back, nor do I want to. But okay, that's the kind of truth of what I was going through my life at the time, you know. So yeah, no, this is kind of like an eclipse period, like just now. In fact, it's 9 years ago, which is like 2008. Eclipses are in Virgo again, and so yeah, Virgo and Pisces. So that's what it is. And eventually, you know, like I said, they let me go from work when there was only 15 employees left, and I left and with a bit of a redundancy check in my, not check, cash in my pocket, to the sum of about €5,000, I suppose. And went home and thought, I'm just going to sit and like meditate for a bit and see what's going on with my life, see how I can like carry on and get to where I'm going. So I did, you know, kind of moved on from there. And yeah, but like 5,000 doesn't last you too long, yeah. And you get into trouble obviously when there's no way of finding a job, and you have a university degree, mate. And like, what was my age by then? I was 31 years old. That means I had easily about 9 years of professional experience as a web designer. Yeah. Or when did I start? 7 years. 7 years of experience as a professional web designer. And okay, this is enough on my CV to say that I was doing well at it, you know. And yeah, man. But there's no jobs available, yeah, for like advertising crisps, or I don't know what it is. So yeah, crisps are like chips in the USA. So that's what it was, and you just run into trouble because like your parents aren't that rich to be able to support you, and that's the end of the story, you know. And so you go and you get a bank loan, you know, that runs out, you know, as well. Um, you know, so like cue the Peruvian shaman.